Good morning, it's Laurie from PassionatePennyPincher.com, and it is day 14 of our spring cleaning Be Awesome in April challenge, where I hope you've been encouraged to tackle your homes, get your cleaning done, get dinner done. We have an awesome checklist that you can download. If you click the link above, it's going to take you right to the download where you can grab it for free. I'll also tell you about a couple deals that are going on today, and then I'm going to share kind of something that's a little bit more personal that some of y'all may absolutely not care about. It may be only for one person out there, so at the end of the live video, if you're the only one left, then that just means it was meant maybe for you. So if you would like to join our Be Awesome in April challenge, if you'd like to download the list, you can grab that. We have 15 projects each day to do that are pretty simple. But we're also gonna tackle one big challenge, and the big challenge we're tackling this week is to clean all the screens in our home. Good morning, hi Kathy and Stacy. Guys, as you're hopping on, if you can tell me good morning, tell me where you're from. It is gorgeous out here today. If you can give me a heart or a like if you've already downloaded your list, I'd love to see that. Oh, somebody just said my sunglasses are on. They are on because I'm heading out to Bible study, and I'm going out as soon as I finish up the live video. There are some awesome deals going on over at PassionatePennyPincher.com. A couple of the great deals I wanted to tell you about was a $20 off 100 Big Lots coupon, a free ice cream at Walmart, which I just printed my coupon, so I'm going to go over there. You can score free shampoo, 6 items totally for free at Walmart, so it's a pretty fun day. I also am going to show you how to clean your computer and iPad screens super easily. You guys, I would love to hear your tips. What are your challenges on this one? And then I'm going to share something a little more personal today. Yeah, a little bit more personal, and so we'll see how that goes. I'm a little anxious about it, I'll be honest. Good morning, Jamie. Hi, Amber in Tennessee. So glad to see you guys on. Okay, so who has nasty computer screens like I do? These get gross if you're, or iPads, whatever. So I'm going to tell you how to clean them, and this works for your iPhone and everything else. All you're going to need is some vinegar. Actually, all you need is water. You really just need a damp cloth. So first you're just going to take a damp cloth. I mean really damp, like really barely damp. You can see how dry this is, and you can see I'm getting fingerprints on it as I hold it. So all you're going to do to wipe it off is you're just going to wipe it really, really well. You're going to wipe it with just barely a damp cloth, and then you're going to dry it. Now the thing is, you've got to buff out that water completely, or it just will be rough. This works on all of your computer screens, all your iPads, iPhones, all that kind of stuff is gonna work with that. So you can use that. Now, if yours are really gunky, if you're extra gunky, I understand that, you can mix some vinegar and water in I wouldn't even mix them in a spray bottle. Just mix some vinegar and water, and that can get them clean. Yeah, so definitely if you're looking for an easy way to clean your stuff, you don't need anything but water. I know a lot of times I've tried fancy cleaners. I know my nature is to want to use this fancy cleaner, but really this is all you need to do. So anyways, get your screens done today. Make sure you've done your checklists and gotten your laundry done and all the things on your list. It feels so good when you have those things done. Okay, let me get my computer. So today is a crazy day at our house because, and this is what I'm kind of struggling with sharing with you guys, and I'm hoping that one person out there needs to hear it because maybe I'm not the only one. A year ago today, my 45-year-old husband had a heart attack. So I'm sharing this mostly because I think there might be somebody else out there who's going through a hard season, and I'm just hoping that this will be some encouragement to you guys. So it happened a year ago today. He was totally healthy, never really super overweight. He wasn't. He pretty much was the same weight from when he was about 19. From the day I met him until the day a year ago that he had his heart attack, he was the same weight. So he never ever, went up and down. He was a little heavier. He's not a little guy. He's not very tall. He's like 5'9", but he always kind of kept this weight on. So it was pretty crazy, and I'll just tell you the story super fast for anybody who struggled with this. He had been having some chest pain, went to the hospital. Whenever he went to the hospital, he had some chest pain, went to the doctor's office, they did a stress test. Because he was healthy, he was super active, he ran around and did stuff all the time, played with our kids, not somebody at all that you would look at and think he was gonna have a heart attack. So he was super healthy, so when he did the stress test, nothing showed up for him. So he did a stress test in January, showed that his heart was great. We thought, okay, you're fine, don't worry about it, but he'd been feeling just yucky, like he just wasn't feeling right. So we were talking this morning, so he woke up in the morning, he went and he drove like, I don't know, 150 miles all over the country, all over Ohio, working because of what he does. So he was driving around and he kept calling me and just saying, I just don't feel good. I don't know what's going on, but I don't feel good today. And so he came home, and I was like a horrible wife. I don't know how many of you guys are like this, but I was horrible. I said whatever because we'd had his heart checked, so I had no concerns really. I just thought maybe it's the flu, you know, whatever. He kept calling and he wasn't feeling good, and I just said, when he got home, I looked at him and he was like visibly not right. Like his face was kind of gray. I was scared. And so, but I was not scared enough because I thought he was okay. So I said, listen, I don't know what's going on. Go to the hospital, go to the ER. But of course, I'm like all of you moms out there, I had lots of other things to do that day. And so we had kids going to soccer practice, kids going everywhere else. So I was like, go ahead and go, take care of it, and I'll see you in a few hours. I'm sure it's nothing. Sure enough, it wasn't nothing. So we got, basically that night, he went to the hospital. I came home. We had lived here about 2 years, but we really didn't know anyone super well. So I really wanted to be home with the kids. He called me and said, they're going to admit me. I go to meet him at the ER. I leave my kids at home by themselves. Basically, they say they didn't even tell us he was having a heart attack at that point. They rushed him later on over to the bigger hospital. I do not see him. By the time I get to the hospital, they have him already back getting a stent put in, and then they came out and met me. It was horrible. It was horrible. Yeah, it was horrible. So I don't want any of y'all to ever go through this, I hope. And I will tell you, yeah, I don't even know. It was awful. But anyways, the next few months were awful. Honestly, the next 6 months were awful. Not because, what happened was he had 100% blockage in one artery. The rest only had like 10%. So he must have had some weird kink there that caused that. But what I didn't know about heart attacks, especially when you have a heart attack that young, is that it really affects you emotionally. Beyond just physically, he did go crazy. He was super good about taking care of himself as far as like he dropped, I think, 30 pounds immediately. I think he's totally dropped maybe almost 40 pounds. He's just not a big guy. So anyway, so he dropped the weight and he's kept it off. He doesn't eat a perfect diet at all, but he is really cautious about what he eats. He's funny. He's very black and white. And so the person at the doctor told him he could have white cheese, but not orange cheese. So he was complaining like 2 days ago. He said, I haven't had a donut in a year. And I said, yeah, but you had chips and queso the other night. And he said, well, queso's fine. It's white cheese. So Denise, you asked how old. So I'm 40. I was 40 when it happened. He's 45. I have to say that because I don't want people to think I'm 45 yet, because I'm not going to go there. But I'm 40. I'm 41 actually now. Yeah, so he was super young. So here's what I'm telling you though. This is the reason I'm telling you that whole story, is not so much to tell you about the heart attack, but to tell you the aftermath. This morning, actually last night we went to bed and he said, man, I just wish, Laurie, I just wish that hadn't happened. I hate it all about myself. I hate this about who I am. I hate this. And I said, you know, honey, I don't think I'd go back. I said, I don't think I'd go back to who we were before, because this is what I'm here to tell you. For those of you who are going through a hard time and just feel like you can't breathe today, there is so much that we've learned this year. It has changed how we are to one another. Every day, like we live so much richer than we did a year ago. So it was scary and it was hard and it was awful. He's doing great. His numbers are great. His heart's looking great. Everything's looking great. He had no heart damage, all of that stuff. So the scary part was okay. But the thing that came for us through that was that I think sometimes bad things happen. And the whole year I kept saying, Lord, why did you let this happen? Like, why would you allow this? But I have to tell you, in the midst of that, and I'm not going to cry because I have a lot of mascara on. In the midst of that, we have seen God, we've seen his grace. I am going to cry. I'm not going to cry. We have seen his grace come over so much more, and we have lived so much fully. We are so much sweeter to one another because we know this is this crazy gift. Like, today is this crazy gift. And who knows, guys, I don't know that we have forever promise. I know where we're going if we have forever, but I don't know what forever is going to bring. But I know that we appreciate life so much better now because of what we went through. And so I'm telling you that today, if you're going through something horrible, if you're going through something and you're like, Laurie, I can't even breathe, this hurts so bad. And this may just be for one person, so I feel silly talking to all of y'all, but if there's one person who needs to hear this, you may be going through something that's so hard and you just want to give up and you're just like, Lord, why are you doing this? Because that's what we've said all year long. Why, God? But I look back and I told my husband last night, I said, I don't think I would go back. First of all, we eat a little healthier, so that's a good thing, right? So that was a blessing in all of it. So we eat a little healthier, so that's a good thing. But also, we're just gentler with one another. Do you know what I mean? Like when we look at each other and when we hang out together, we're just a little sweeter because we've seen the harder stuff. Does that make sense? So I don't know what you're going through today. I don't know what is your crud. I don't have any idea. But I know that one person out there might be going through something that's just awful, and you're just thinking, gosh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to make this? And I want to tell you from the other side, a year later, I can totally look at it and say, thank you, Lord, even in this, like even in the crummy stuff. And so I know that there are hard things, but God's grace comes through this mess. You know what I mean? Like God can take our messes and make them his masterpiece. And I look at it and I just am so thankful that we have this, even though I'm super thankful because he's healthy. So it's definitely easier for me to say now, okay, he's looking great, things look fantastic, he's going to be okay. So it's very easy for me in this place to say, okay, this is okay. And I know if you're going through something where maybe he's not okay, where your husband did have something that was horrible, I have no idea how you get through that, but I have to trust because, and this is what I love, that God gives us these things along the way that you have to say, you know what, I made it through this. And so God's going to get me through the next thing. So whatever you're going through today, like I said, I have no idea what it is. And maybe most of you aren't. Maybe none of you are going through anything crummy today. Maybe you all have an awesome life, which is what I hope. But I feel like God proves to us when we go through the crummy stuff that we can get through it again. So anyways, I just did not mean, as I was sitting there thinking about it this morning, and like I said, we went to bed last night, and he was just sad last night. He said, Laurie, I just didn't want to do this. Like, this is not what I wanted to happen. And I was like, but do you think we'd change it? I don't know that we would change it. So thankfully he's healthy. Thankfully he's feeling great. His cholesterol is back down. Everything is looking great for him. He feels, and I will say too, for anybody who has a heart attack, for that first year, you're on a ton of crazy medicine, and I really feel like they make it really hard for you. But now he's off a lot of that medicine, and so he just feels better every day. So every day doesn't feel as rough as it did. So I feel like the medicine messes with you. So I definitely want to say whatever health thing you're in, if you can just kind of look at it, this is the same way I looked at it when my kids were babies. If you can just say, get me through this year. Like when my kids were babies, I was not a great baby mom, and I was like, okay, if I can just get through this year. So whatever season you're in, I want you to look at it like big scope and just say, let's just get through this year. Let's not stress over today. Let's get through this year, and then we'll deal with feeling horrible. And I feel like just getting it, I don't know, having a year out, I have such a different perspective. And like I said, I wish he'd been super healthy. I wish for my kids that they didn't possibly have any genetic thing that was going to mess them up, but we all need to eat healthier anyway. So that's, I keep telling them, I'm like, okay, we all need to eat healthier. So yeah, definitely. And we're definitely eating lots of salmon. My husband has fallen in love. There's a salmon salad at the Rusty Bucket, if anybody has a Rusty Bucket. And it's so funny. He said it's like his favorite salad. He gets excited, and he would never have said a year ago that he would get excited about a salad. So it definitely helps. But I think the thing I just want you to know is that whatever you're going through today, whatever thing just makes you feel crummy, just know that God totally can take that mess, and you may actually appreciate it. Like, I really don't know that I would go back and say I wouldn't want this. And I hate to say that. I don't want to sign up for any other messes. I'm not signing up for any other messes. I'm not doing that. But it has proved to me, going through this has proved to me that the next thing that we do, he'll get us through it. And so, and even if he doesn't, we're still okay. Like, we're still okay. So anyways, I definitely just, I struggled with sharing that today, but it's kind of a big day. I told him, I said, I feel like we should have a party, but like at a party you would have a cake. So I was like, I can't really feed you cake for not having a heart attack for a year. So I was trying to figure out where we can go and get some really good salmon tonight, maybe. Anyways, I just hope that it encourages y'all today. If it's just for one or two people out there who've struggled, I just want you to know that whatever you're in, give yourself a year. Just give yourself a year and say, let's see how things look in a year, and just kind of take a deep breath, make it through each day, and know that the hard stuff, like I was looking back over my life, and I know it's so easy for all of us, isn't it, to look at people and say, oh, she has it all together. We're really lucky. We've, after 20 years of penny pinching, we have a beautiful home and beautiful children and it's easy to look and say, she may have it all together, but what you don't know is all the mess that we had to get here, and definitely some harder things when I was younger that were just hard. And so I look back even those things, and I'm like, I think I look at life so differently because I've struggled through those things. So those things that are such struggles for you today, they totally make life so much easier. They make life so much, I don't know, so much richer, I guess. They make it so much richer, and you just, like, literally, when my husband and I go to bed at night, I just snuggle right up to him because I am so stinking thankful that he's there every night. And I don't know that I did that a year ago. It's just different. So anyways, I hope that's some encouragement for you today. Didn't mean to go on and on about it, and it may not be, none of y'all may need to know any of that. So it may have been way more than you needed to hear. But if you did need to hear that, if you're that one person that is going through something, a crisis today, know that you are loved. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you right today that God will just cover you in peace and grace and mercy, and that you will be able, and maybe in a year, to see this and say, oh my goodness, I didn't know you were going to bring me that. So that's my prayer for you today. Okay, so download your free printable list. I won't sit here and go all this. I'm going to read through your comments kind of as we're going. You can download your free printable list about how to be awesome in April. I'll tell you what, being awesome makes everything better. I feel like, and I do feel like, especially if you're going through a mess, especially if you have a crisis in your life, try to get some balance. Try to kind of say, okay, these are the things I'm going to cover. I know, right? I wrote a post about this. Right after James had his heart attack, I had kind of let my house get into total disarray. And one day I was just like, I need to pull up my big girl panties and get my house picked up. Like, this is not okay. And so when I kind of took care of my home, either way, crud's going to be there. But if you can just kind of say, what can I do to take over this, that would be amazing. I just saw, let me see a comment. Moochie, I just saw you said you lost your daughter and granddaughter 2 weeks ago. Oh, Moochie, I am praying for you right now. I bless your heart. I cannot even imagine, and I can't read the whole comment. All I see is that it said you lost your daughter and granddaughter. I'm so sorry, and my heart aches with you today. And hang in there. I know we're all praying for you for sure. Yeah, that's just hard. Oh, I hate that. And I can't read the comments now, so we'll see. I'm trying to see what's going on here. Anyways, y'all just know that you are not alone in your suffering, but that God goes with you and he is cheering you on. So hang in there. Yuck, I hate that. I don't even know how to end after that, honestly. I don't know how to end. And I can't see anything here, so the screen kind of closed up on me. So know that I'm praying for y'all, and I just cannot imagine. But if you can, and this is, Moochie, you need to do some crying, cry a lot, and know that people are praying for you. Once you get through this season, then you can do this other stuff. Hang in there, y'all. Life is not easy, but it is good, and it is sweet. And today is a sweet, precious gift that God has given you. And so I pray that today you will take care of maybe one or two things in your life so that you can find some order. And, you know, if you do the whole checklist, more power to you. But if you don't, if you just hang in there and know that God is with you and that he is covering you in all you've gone through. Guys, oh, Amber, I'll be reading through your comments throughout the day. I will be praying for you guys. If you have a big struggle, definitely I will be sending prayers your way, and I'm thinking of you. I wish I could come out and just give a big hug to all of you somehow, because I know we go through such hard things, but you have no idea what God can do out of this. So be encouraged that a lot of it is the way that we choose to handle it, I think, some days, and we can either look at it and be discouraged, or we can say, you know what, this is what God handed to me. How can I make the best out of this mess? And so I encourage y'all to make the best out of your mess, whatever it is. Know that God is with you. Know that you are not alone in your struggling and your suffering, that other people have gone through things too. It doesn't make it any better. It doesn't. It still hurts just as bad. I tell my husband all day, I'm like, honey, so-and-so's gone through this. And it's like, that doesn't make it any better. It doesn't make it any better, but it does somehow, I don't know what it is. Misery loves company, something like that. Anyways, thank y'all so much for watching this morning. I appreciate you guys each so much for taking the time to hang out. I know you have a million things that you need to do today. I know there's lots of things you need to do besides watching me sit here and get weepy on Facebook Live, but I pray that you will have a fantastic day, and I will be back tomorrow. And tomorrow we are doing this one on live. So there is no crying tomorrow, because I want you to bring your purses. Tomorrow on Facebook Live, we're going to clean out our purse and wallet. I am going to clean out my purse on live video. I'm not going to clean it out today. We're going to dump them out. We're going to clean out our purses. So in the morning, get your purse. Do not clean it today. Clean it tomorrow morning with me. Y'all have the best day. Thanks so much for watching. And just be blessed in whatever you are, and know that I'm praying for you. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.